Real people, real cases. This is Verdict Watch.
Arbor Woods versus Angela Cater.
Hello.
Hello, Ms. Cater.
Hello.
All right, I set this for a hearing because it was coming close to the judgment. How much do you have owing on her account at this point?
Your Honor, the ledger reads $6,923.50. I know that there was some money at escrow that was released on or about April 25th when Ms. Cater filed her first motion. The court denied the motion but did release escrow. According to the motion, there was 1,600 released at that point. We don't have that money yet. And then
So
there
you don't have the 16
correct.
that was released.
Correct. And then the second motion indicated 1 month's rent was deposited, but I'm not entirely sure how much was, and I assume that's still in the court's escrow.
So I'm just trying to track this because did you receive 500 from us?
The ledger, Your Honor, shows a $1,500 payment on 4/10, a $2,100 payment on April 24.
Got it. Okay.
And that left a balance of 52,1775, and then obviously the May rents come due.
Gotcha. And I just want to make sure I'm clear on this. The 16 that I ordered released, they just haven't released it yet.
That's correct.
Okay, that's okay. That's where I was getting confused.
Okay.
So that includes the 16 that I ordered released.
Gotcha. Okay. So there was another
63.
Putting the total at 3463. Okay, that makes sense.
3463. So if the balance you have now, if I don't have anybody to do my math here.
I'll do your math.
So the amount that's currently owing is how much?
$6,923.50.
And what did I tell you we have?
We have 3463.
So I've got 3460 and 50 cents left over.
Oh, not, yeah.
Yeah, how much?
34.60 and 50 cents is the remaining balance.
34.60
and 50 cents.
Okay. And that's through May.
Correct.
All right, Ms. Cater.
All right. Hello. So, the main thing right now is my air condition. My air condition isn't working because I don't have an air conditioning unit. So that's why the issue started from the beginning because of the repairs. And I understand the other repairs, I guess, aren't going to be done. I'm not sure because after they came over and took pictures in March and I haven't heard anything and they closed out my thing. So I just really need hot water and some AC because my AC is registering at 81 right now and I have a child with asthma. So I really need
Ms.
that.
Cater, Ms. Cater. Couple things so that we're clear. I am not, certainly those issues could be dealt with, maybe. But I issued a judgment on this back in March. I
Correct.
initially denied your motion to set it aside.
Correct.
Right, because it wasn't, the judgment wasn't going to be paid and there had been additional rent accruing.
Okay.
The only reason that I even set a hearing on this was because when you came with the second motion, there was then a substantial additional amount paid
Okay.
that was going to get you close to getting yourself caught up.
Mm-hmm.
All right. My only question in whether I let this judgment continue or set it aside are no longer, from this court standpoint, the repair issues. It
Okay,
becomes an issue of getting this paid,
okay. So
okay?
it can be paid by the 30th.
That whole amount.
I can have 3,000 paid for sure by the 30th, and then the other.
Say what? Say
I'm
it
sorry,
again.
I can have 3,000 paid by the 30th. And then I can have the remaining paid by the 6th of June.
What about the June
But
rent?
what
I
about your
can,
June rent?
I can add that with the June. I was just gonna say I can add June's rent with that.
Ms. Cater, I'm gonna be honest with you. I really don't want to do that.
Okay,
I know in the past you always come up with it, and I get that. But at some point, there's got to be fairness to the landlord in this case.
okay,
And they've got to reconcile everything, get everything paid. And here's what my problem is with what you're telling me. Is that on this, you're asking me to allow this case to move into June.
okay. Well,
And I'm not, I don't want to do that.
okay. Well, I
So
can have
if
paid.
you're gonna, hang on,
Yes, sir.
this 34/60/50,
Yes, sir.
that needs, I gotta have that paid in May.
Okay, I can do that May
Because
30th.
the only reason I set the hearing, so that you know, the only reason I set the hearing is you had brought in a substantial amount. And quite frankly, I thought when we get here today, she's gonna have that additional amount. But you don't have it. But I'm not gonna keep extending this out. I issued this judgment back in March.
Okay. So I can have it
You hear
paid by
me?
May 30th.
Here's what I'm gonna do then. And this is also, I'm sure, gonna be over plaintiff's objection, but it's what I'm gonna do. What's the time on the 30th?
On the 30th, that's 2 weeks, it'd be 2 p.m.
I'm gonna adjourn this to May 30th, 2025 at 2 p.m. 2 p.m. I'm gonna release the 34/63 escrow to plaintiff today. So can we send a message down there, try to get that out to them? And then you're going to pay $3,460.50. I want that paid directly to the landlord. And Ms. Cater, are
Yes.
you going to be able to get that paid prior to 2 p.m.? I really need it paid prior to
It will
noon
be.
on that day.
It will be.
It will be?
Yep.
All right. So I'm gonna put by noon on the 30th. All right. Now, just so that I'm also clear, Ms. Cater, and I'll listen to you. I'll hear anything you got to say. But if
And
that's not paid, I'm not, I'm done. I can't
Okay.
do much else.
So I have a question. What am I supposed to do regarding my repairs? How am I gonna get
All
those?
right, submit the repairs
I've done
to
that.
them.
I've done that.
All right.
I've been doing that
Here's
since I
what-
moved in, Your Honor.
Okay.
Your
And you
Honor,
say it's
pass the
air
repairs along
conditioned?
to my client as well. I've noted that there's no AC unit. My understanding, this is a brand new home.
It
Your
is.
Honor. And so air conditioning units were put on order. My understanding is that there are many that are scheduled to be installed on the 22nd. I don't know if Ms. Caters is on that list. It's very possible hers is. I don't know for certain. I'd have to verify with my client. So I suspect the AC unit is coming up within the next week. As far as what was specifically on this work order, Ms. Cater says was closed out, I'll check with my client, let them know that she's stating that those issues are still outstanding. One specific thing Ms. Cater referenced today was something about hot water. I'll make sure to address that with my client today.
Okay, all right, fair enough. All right. So hopefully we can get those issues resolved as well as get the monetary issue and let you try to get a fresh start come June, Ms. Cater, okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right, okay, we'll see you on the 30th. Thank you. Okay.
Next case on the docket.
Scio Farms versus Melanie Clemens. She's in town. Ms. Clemens?
Hello?
Oh,
Can you hear me?
hello, there she is. Yes, I can hear you.
Okay.
And where are we on her case?
Total with costs, Your Honor, $1,816.78. Your Honor, Ms. Clemens did reach out to my office to propose a payment plan, which unfortunately my client was not in agreement with, as it pushed the case into June, pushed payment into June, but did not include a provision for June. Even if it had, I don't know that my client would have agreed to those terms, but unfortunately what was proposed at the time just unfortunately wasn't something my client could agree to.
Excuse me, I don't mean to interrupt, but that was the wrong information. The person I talked to, they didn't have no information of my account. So she kept asking me questions. Could you do this? I kept telling her I can have it all paid by the 30th. Could you do this? And that is including June. And she just kept asking about June. So I just said, okay. But what I was trying to ask her is I could pay $1,300 on the 23rd and the remaining balance on the 30th. That's what I was trying to say to her. So I think we had some miscommunication.
Okay. So you can have, so right now, and you paid that $1,600 on the 5th or thereabouts that you said you were gonna pay because your balance went down.
Yes.
And so you can have this all paid by the 30th?
Yes.
All right, here's what I'm gonna do then. I'm gonna find no tribal issue after a hearing in this matter. I'm gonna grant a judgment for possession to the plaintiff in the amount, it was $1,816.78?
That's correct,
Yeah.
Your Honor.
All right. And normally, so that you understand what I'm going to do here, Ms. Clemens, normally you would have until the 27th to get it paid. I'm going to extend the writ date on this to May 30th.
Okay.
Let you get that paid. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. So you'll get it paid and then you'll be all set.
All righty.
Okay. Okay. Ms. Clemens, you have a great weekend.
Thanks, you too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for watching Verdict Watch. New court drama every day. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on the bell so you never miss a case. Leave a comment with your thoughts. We're watching too.